Okay, so we are on, and I had to switch the video because of pointless YouTube politics stuff. So I'm going to wait for just a moment for everybody to see this in their feed, and here we go. I'm going to kill 2 minutes now. There we go. No, that was something. How was that? Was that great? Excellent. Did that make your life? Is anybody even here? I don't know. I'm trying to get onto the stream so I can watch the chat because, that's kind of the whole point of this live stream. I'm just going to wait a few minutes for everybody to start crawling back to me. And I need to, of course, remember that live stream stuff is usually delayed on my end. So when I'm saying something, you guys hear it like 2 seconds later. I need to remember that. And that gets really annoying when you're trying to keep up with people because you're like, hey, oh no, they're not like responding to me. Oh wait, that's right, they didn't hear it yet. Oh, hi everybody, Vanilla, Rabbit, Lower 2001, George Robertson, that word Junior, and apparently 2 others who haven't said anything. Hello, everybody. So let's cut to the chase. Oh, thank you, George Robertson. I know I'm amazing. But thank you very much. And by the way, that noise was me tap dancing. I hope you enjoyed it. So this is the TV Talks live stream, and I'm going to be blunt. This is going to be a shorter live stream because we just had a terrible family emergency just happen, like really bad. So, but I don't want to negate on a promise I made to you guys. I want to be sure that I'm here for you and I'm fulfilling what I'm promising. So here we go, the TV Talks live stream. Please don't ask what the disaster was. I'm not going to answer. Man, I just heard my audio quality. This is terrible. Hang on, let me get into a better room so that this sounds better. How's this? Is this better? How's this? Is this better audio quality? Does this sound good to your ears? Let me know. Otherwise, we can't get started. Yay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, that nonsense was me tap dancing, and now here we go. We are ready to start the TV Talks live stream. Here's basically what happens. You guys give me a show in the chat, and if I come across something I want to talk about, which is pretty much any show, with a few exceptions like ones I haven't seen, I'll briefly discuss it. And then maybe if you guys want to hear more about it, we can make a separate video of that later. Leaf Razor, thank you for doing the BTA stuff. I should send you the rest of the lines over soon. I'm still waiting on one person who hasn't sent it over. I'm sorry it's taking so long. It's just a mess. And I don't know what's happening to them. They just kind of disappeared, so I'm thinking of recasting. But in the meantime, we got one here. It's Recess. And if I'm guessing correctly, that's the Disney show. Who doesn't love Recess? I didn't when I was younger. I didn't get into it because I just didn't really understand it. I watched it here and there, but I thought it was okay. Looking back on it as an adult, it's actually a lot of fun. While not the best show ever, it's certainly entertaining. The characters are pretty fun. My favorites personally being Mikey and Gus. There are a few annoying little bits, kind of like the Ashleys, but for the most part, it remains a fun show. And it remains kind of something that contains a consistent level of quality, I'd say. Just kind of a simple, good show. That's basically all I got to say about Recess right now. So, let's see. Logan Keskiko, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. My screen's not working as well. I haven't seen Yokai Watch, but Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Thank you, Leaf Storm, aka Leaf Razor. By the way, like I said, those lines will be coming. It's taking a little bit. Yay. But Pokemon, the first season's actually okay. It's not too bad, of course. 4Kids did amazing jobs with the theme songs early on back when they cared. Of course, this was pre-Foxbox days. So yeah, they kind of did a good job with that department, and the writing was pretty good. They didn't change too much, except of course for the infamous jelly donuts and sandwiches. Yum. Love it. And then later on, as the seasons went on, it just kind of got worse and worse, and they stopped caring more and more. I've heard it's gotten better now, but I'm not going to stick around to see it because I got a lot of other things to watch. And I'm in college, and I got a job, and I'm working on a campaign right now. It's too much. Attack and the Power of Juju. The games are fun. The show was. It's not a good adaptation of the show, like at all. Like the main villain only being in 2, maybe 3 episodes. But it's okay. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. I can see why it didn't last. I already did something on VeggieTales on TV a while ago. Gaither's Pond, it's not TV, but all right, I'll let it slide. It's awful. Nothing works. Water. Water. It does a body good. I bet that was just a joy to listen to. Winx Club. That's the only one of those 2 I've heard of. Never saw it when it was on 4Kids. It was promoted a lot. Never ended up watching it because, well, as a boy, I didn't like that kind of stuff. I've still never seen Powerpuff Girls for that very same reason. Because when I was a little boy, I had such a stigma against it, and I just haven't been back to watch it since. Sesame Street. Very influential show. Of course, it has its little rough moments, but what doesn't? But I really respect Sesame Street a lot as a show. It does a lot of really deep, really emotional lessons, like death when Mr. Hooper died. That is probably the best bit that show's ever done. It did it respectfully and tastefully. The things that show can portray is just amazing, and it does it all in good taste. I marvel at the writers for that, being able to do such complex things for kids and have them understand it. The puppetry is great with Jim Henson, of course. Of course, I've heard some interesting things happen in the newer stuff, but, that's fine, I guess, because it's not really for me anymore. In fact, I don't really have a memory watching it as a kid, but my parents tell me I did a lot, but I don't remember that. Oh, well, I mean, I guess they'd remember better than me, considering the fact that I wasn't old enough to know where my hands were back then. Monsters vs. Aliens, the series. Saw 1 episode, couldn't get through it, thought it was just kind of really derivative, nothing stuff, just kind of basic Nickelodeon padding. Simple as that. My next TV talks will be on The Simpsons, although I'm taking a little longer than I thought because I'm thinking of changing up the formula so it's not as monotonous as it used to be. And also that special thing where it's the top 10 cartoons I want to see rebooted, which I really want to talk about the number 1 on that list because that one I've been thinking about ever since I made the TV talks of that because I've got so many ideas for that. And no, that's not going to replace Light and Dark because I want the original series on this channel, aside from, of course, VeggieTales Abridged and Live and Reloaded, to be something original, something I created because I did create this. Let's see, what do we got else in the chat? Chopsocky Chooks. Haven't thought about that show in years, actually. I completely forgot that thing existed. But, yeah, it was a show. It wasn't particularly good at all, but it was a show. That's all I got to say about it. Rocko's Modern Life. It's a hilarious show. I'm excited to see the new movie coming out whenever it does come out because, Nickelodeon is taking forever when announcing it. I don't know why. But it was a really fun show with a lot of stuff you can't get away with today. A lot of people saying they should reboot Rocko or Animaniacs, and I think that's a terrible idea because the censors are super, super strict these days. You can't get away with half the stuff they did. I mean, look at all those Animaniacs and Rocko's compilations. You can't get away with that these days. Parents will be up in arms about all that kind of garbage. And by garbage, I mean fun garbage. There's a difference, Rugrats. Oh boy. Hold on just a moment. Sorry about that, y'all. Roommates. Okay, so Rugrats. Never liked it. Never did. I thought the art style was bad. I thought that the writing was bad. Concept that it's about babies did not amuse me at all. I never liked it. I actually liked All Grown Up more than I did Rugrats, although I didn't particularly care for that either. It was All Grown Up was okay. Rugrats never liked it. Totally Spies, never seen it. Loud House. Well, considering the fact that I based a musical, an ill-fated musical at that off of it, I think it's safe to say I like it. It avoids a lot of pitfalls a lot of Nickelodeon shows were going to do. Although, later on, as of like right now, the show is kind of going downhill, and a lot of the fandom has started to leave. I can kind of see why, but I don't know. It's still a good show. It's still fun. Family Guy, worst show ever. I hate it. Nothing about it works. I hate literally every single bit about it, right down to the creator. Seth MacFarlane is one of the worst people in the industry, I think. He's rude, he's obnoxious, and he takes up every little bit of credit he can get, and only to boost his ego. Can't stand him, and his stuff really gets into the show. Family Guy's style of humor is what I like to call the worst thing ever. All it is let's get two random things together and then drag the joke out for like 4 minutes at a time. Brian Griffin is my least favorite character in TV history. All he does is spew out nonsensical, rambling stuff about politics and just constantly puts in these hand-fisted morals that mean absolutely nothing. And who wants to go to Family Guy for morals? Nobody does. That's why I hate Family Guy. Tough Puppy. Started off good, kind of got bad. Hate Butch Hartman still. Well, I don't hate him. I'm just still mad at him. Camp Lazlo. Haven't seen it in a while, so I can't really judge it right now. SpongeBob. The first 3 seasons and some of seasons 4 and 5 were great. Other than that, not so much. Teen Titans Go to the movies. Hate Teen Titans Go. Not going to see the movie. Simple as that. Mr. Meaty. Ooh, thank you, George Robertson. I've wanted to talk about Mr. Meaty for years. So Mr. Meaty is a show everybody hates because of its weird puppetry style and its strange sense of humor that it had. It haunted Nickelodeon for 2 years until they dumped it onto Nicktoons Network where it stank up the ratings there. I love it. I love its weird, deranged style of humor. I love the crazy puppetry. I love it all. I mean, it's not perfect, but what show is? It was just kind of a fun thing that was just kind of meant to amuse and, yeah, maybe once or twice discuss. But I thought it was actually kind of interesting. The characters weren't always the best. Josh kind of got on my nerves sometimes, but I loved Mr. Carney. He was great. The villain of the show, the zombie who was frozen in the freezer, he was great. All the weird things that they do and how creative they were with the puppets. All of that was just great. The writing was pretty good too. It kind of predated Total Drama in a sense where it kind of realistically portrays a lot of how teens talk. And I really like that. Cat Dog, alone in the world, little cat dog. Haven't seen I was seeing a Teen Titans Go comment. I haven't seen Cat Dog in years. As a kid, I thought it was okay, but I don't really remember watching it too much, so I can't really say whether I like Cat Dog or not now. Big Hero 6, haven't seen the show. I didn't know there was a show. The movie was just kind of eh. Best show ever? My favorite is Dave the Barbarian. I don't know about best, but also I really, like, aside from Dave the Barbarian, let's see, really like Gravity Falls, Drawn Together, The Simpsons, yeah, that kind of stuff. If you hear some noise in the background, don't worry, that's just roommates. They're fine. They're harmless. They won't eat you. Well, not many of you, at least. Yeah, so those are some of my favorite shows also. Also really like Teen Titans. I've been getting back into that. And there's also those shows that I want to like, but just can't because I don't think they're of good quality. If you want to know what those are, just let me know. I wouldn't count VeggieTales as like a show, but if it was a show, then yeah, it would be right up there. Real Monsters. Only seen 1 episode of it. Thought it was good. Do I hate Big Hero 6, the movie? No, it's just kind of okay. The last Disney movie, this is going to be a brief TV deviation. Let's see. List of Disney. This is the only time I'm going to stray off topic for this entire thing, just letting you know. Then it's going to be strictly TV after this. The last Disney movie I can fully say that I've liked as an animated film, not Pixar. Come on, why can't somebody give me a good complete list? The last Disney animated film that I 100% liked was. These are awards. I don't want to see the award. All right, so let's see. The last one I really liked was Wreck-It Ralph. Frozen, Big Hero 6, and Zootopia have complicated emotions with Moana. It was all right. Simple as that. Okay. Amazing World of Gumball. Love it. Sad that it's going away, but better to end early and still be good rather than be the new SpongeBob. A lot of really creative cinematography things with that, and just a whole lot of fun involved in general. And then the Weird Al show. I was going to do a full, huge, massive retrospect thing on it, but it never really panned out. But I love it a lot. It's fantastic. Weird Al totally got to shine. But I do want to see the uncensored versions of the scripts that they were originally going to have, because the show got censored hardcore by the network. Really, the story behind the Weird Al show is actually more interesting than the show itself. I'm not going to get into it right here, but I'm actually going to put that into the "will review later" category, because that is really, really interesting. Do I have any episode recommendations of Gravity Falls? Start from the beginning. Don't watch them out of order. It's going to be terrible if you do that. Ed, Edd n Eddy. Fun show. Had a really great finale. Really interesting animation style. Danny Antonucci's a bit of a weird guy, but it really translates well into animation. Characters are lovable, except for Jimmy and Sarah. Concepts are simple but fun. Characters are great. I think I already said that, but you get the point. Brothers Grunt. I did an old review of it way back then. I hated it then, and I hate my old review because it's horribly cringy. But I don't hate it as much as I used to, but it's not great. It's pretty bad, but not the worst. The Looney Tunes show, I already did a review of that. Problem solvers, everything. Basically, what everybody says, I agree with. It hurts to watch. The voice acting is terrible. The plots are stupid. Nothing works. That's basically all I can add. I can't add anything to it. Let's see. What do I think of Phineas and Ferb? It was pretty good. I mean, it's kind of like a Scooby-Doo thing. The formula gets a little old and weary, although I've heard in later years they did kind of start to play with the formula a bit. But it's still a fun show. Doofenshmirtz was always my favorite character. Muppets Tonight, haven't seen it. Strange Wild Guy, none of those are TV based. Ooh, Milo Murphy's Law X, Phineas and Ferb crossover. Now, I hope that's not X as in, like, shipping, because that'd be very strange. But I have not seen that crossover. Actually, I haven't seen a lot of Milo Murphy's Law since I made that original review, because I just got so busy with school and college. But yeah, I want to see that someday. I didn't know that was a thing. Between the Lions, that sounds familiar. I haven't seen it in a while. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Actually, that's the theme of our dorm, because on this floor, we have, like, to mark who's on what room. They're based off of different shows, and ours is Foster's. Mine is blue. It's good. It did go a little downhill towards the end. I do think Destination Imagination should have been the finale, but the characters are great. The art style is great. I love the concept. It has a lot of really good writing. I'm really happy to have watched it since the beginning all the way up to the very, very, very end. Let's see. I can't say My Little Pony because I don't know which iteration you're talking about. I don't know what the Melancholy of Harushi's something is. Chalk Zone. It's another cat dog one. I haven't seen it in years. I've heard it holds up in. And I actually, I think I've seen like 2 episodes when I was a kid. I wasn't really big on it when I was younger, so I didn't really watch it too much, and I haven't really gone out of my way to watch it since. Kind of a simple thing like that. I don't know what picola is, but it sounds like, I don't know, some kind of cola. I don't know. I was trying to make a joke off of that, but I don't know where I was going. Grossology. Haven't seen that either. Don't forget, I'm a little bit older than a lot of you guys, so like a lot of the shows that are on now, I don't really, I'm not too familiar with those. Let's see, what else do we have? about it for now. Let's see where the rest come in. The Puzzle Place, never heard of that. Ren and Stimpy. That's an interesting one, actually, Strange Waffle Guy. You see, I used to love Ren and Stimpy to pieces because that's another one where it's just insanity like Rocco. Although not quite as clever as Rocco, it had some really good animation and some really interesting stuff. The backstory was insane. But, and it's not having to do with John K's pedophilia case, but I don't know, it just doesn't hold up as well as I remember. I watched a little bit even before I found out about John K, and it's fine. It's good. I mean, I like it. It's just kind of one of those shows where I get tired of it really easily. It's like after one or two episodes, I'm kind of done. That's pretty much my thought of Ren and Stimpy. I used to love it, but now it's kind of going lower and lower, and I'm getting really sad at that. Now, that's a good question. Rick and Morty. Some of the same things that can be said about The Simpsons can be said about Rick and Morty, like you're asking. Because they asked, you said you have some good points in your Simpsons videos, which, by the way, thank you. And can that be thought of for a lot of adult cartoons today, like Rick and Morty? Now, the thing about Rick and Morty is that's an exception, because most adult cartoons today are terrible and they're nothing but derivative, boring, just shock humor. Rick and Morty, though, I can't say for that because I don't like Rick and Morty. It's not that I don't get it. I do. I do get the joke. It's just, it's, that's what I give a 5 out of 10. It's amusing, but it's not really my thing. Cyber Chase, haven't seen in years, used to love it. Opinion on Doug, I think it's boring. Sailor Moon, haven't seen it. Rapper the Rapper anime, didn't know there was one. Garfield and Friends, oh, I love Garfield and Friends. Who doesn't? That's like the best iteration of Garfield I've seen. I love it. The writing actually still holds up really well. My favorite episode is the one where it's the Sponge Illustrated magazine man coming door to door, scares John. Ah, they were playing Fortnite. But that's the whole thing with that. It's hilarious. The writing is still really good. That's back in an era when Saturday morning cartoons didn't try at all. Angry Beavers, another Chalk Zone one. Haven't seen it, although I do hear that that is actually really good. And from what little I have seen of it recently, it is good. Vanilla Rev 11 2001, again, already made one off of Sonic X. You have seen TV Talks, right? All right, DuckTales 2017. It's good. I haven't seen too much of it, but it is good. I want to see more of it, though, because I haven't seen too much of the original DuckTales either. So I can't really say which one's better because I didn't grow up with either. But the new one looks like a lot of fun, and I want to watch that when I have the chance. So maybe when I come back from Thanksgiving, or for Thanksgiving, if I ever survive. Dun dun dun. Collide with the Chance Meatballs, the series, never seen it. Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Again, it's another one of those where it's like with the problem solvers. Everything that everyone has said is absolutely correct. The plots are ridiculous. It makes no sense. It's kind of lame. It's hokey, but it's fun in that way. It's not one of the best, so bad it's good cartoons I've ever seen, but it's fine. It's fine. Rocket Power. Never liked it. That's probably my least favorite classic Q cartoon. I'm not a sports guy, anyways, but even if I was, I don't think I'd be very interested in that. Haven't seen Watership Down TV series. I already reviewed George of the Jungle 2017, or actually 2007. I was almost there. I got those a little mixed up because there's 2007 and 2016. Whoops. Well, I was halfway there on both of those, but that still means I was wrong. The Weekenders. That's a show I'm dying to see because that's made by Doug Langdale, one of my personal writing heroes. He wrote Dave the Barbarian, my favorite show ever, and helped out majorly on El Tigre and a few other great shows. And that was the first show he ever made, and I really want to see it, but I don't know where to go to find it because the school Wi-Fi blocks out Kiss cartoons, so I can't watch it. Haven't seen Soul Calibur series. Do you think the Fairly Odd Parents still holds up today? The first 4 seasons do, and then that's it. Teacher's Pet. Haven't seen it in a long, long time. I remember seeing the movie on TV when I was a kid and thinking it was okay. I still don't know which one came first. No, the movie came later than the show.
But the movie came later. The show came first. I already did Recess. I Love Lucy. It's still pretty good. It still kind of holds up today, despite being so old. Because that's the thing, is a lot of people have a stigma against old shows. But what's wrong with old shows? Sure, they're in black and white, but sometimes the writing's even better. I already did Doug in this stream. I already did TV Talks on Jimmy Neutron. I already did Pokemon in this stream. I'm guessing we have a lot of newcomers, but that's okay. I love you all, but not in that way. Sorry. I don't know any of you personally. I do not know you personally, but I will destroy you. By the way, new episode of Gourd Games is up right now. And yes, its title is supposed to be Ooey Pooey Guratif. It'll make sense when you watch the video. Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats, never heard of it. Twilight Zone. That's one of the best old old shows, I think, actually. It's so clever, and with its limitation that it had, because it had a pretty small budget back in the day, it was really inventive with its story ideas and its characters. A lot of our best story ideas stem from the Twilight Zone. Granted, the fourth season was pretty bad because they tried to go what happens after the twist ending, but it did get better later on. House of Mouse. That's another one I haven't seen in a while, but I used to adore it as a kid. And I do still think the concept is really creative now with, all of these Disney characters being inside a giant nightclub and just hanging out. And of course, those Mickey cartoons, I did stumble across those recently, and those are pretty good and a little Warner Brothers-ish rather than Disney style, but hey, that's not bad. Haven't seen Unikitty. Timo Supremo, I've never seen it. I've heard it's just awful. Rocco's Modern Life. Hey, we have the same favorite Rocco episode, Wacky Deli. Wacky Deli, yeah. Wacky Deli, yeah. Batman the Animated Series. Funny enough, actually, I was just talking about this the other day with my roommate. Matt. We were talking about just how well done that is. The stories are great, and it's another one of those. Everything everybody says is just perfect. It's probably why I will never review it. But it's just so well done. Even the bad episodes are just kind of eh. Now, if you want to see how Batman can be done wrong, look up Loving Too Much Iowa, Batman Shadow Knight. It's hilarious. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Never actually seen it. Goosebumps. Even though it's cheesy and kind of cheap and it scared me to death as a kid, I don't know why. I still enjoy it. Although the books are a bit better, that is still something I enjoy. Rest of the Adult Party Cartoon. Although I already did a TV talk on that, I do kind of want to go on it because that is one I'm going to remake because that video has some sound issues that I kind of want to fix. That's one of the most boring shows I've ever seen. Now, a lot of people are disgusted by it and think it's going way, way, way too far. But it's all right. It's not all right. It's bad, but it's boring. It's not the only ones that are really disgusting are the ones that were never aired, which I've finally seen. I haven't seen each one, but I've seen the other two. Those are disgusting, but I haven't seen. But those other three, like Fire Dogs 2, Ren Seeks Help, Onward and Upward. No. Those are just a snooze fest. Lloyd Space, never heard of it. I am the cheese. I am the best character on the show. Yes, indeed. Now, who here would like to see a Wacky Deli TV show? I would, personally. Letter Force, never seen it. Ben 10, 2017. Although I haven't seen it, I've heard a lot about it and heard it's not very good. Now, I do agree with what the person right below says, that yes, they should pull the plug on it, but they can't do that because it's basically like Thomas or Transformers. It's only there for the toys now. Breadwinners, I did a really old, crappy review on that, but even though the video itself is just garbage, the critique stands. Not funny at all, tries super hard to just do the most lowbrow stuff. They actually try to be lowbrow derivative. It's not like they just do it, they try. Which really makes me mad with kid shows, because I think a lot of you know I'm a stickler for a lot of that kind of stuff. Upper End, never actually seen it. Maybe I'll do a top 5 shows some other day. I was actually thinking of doing a top 10, but it's not for right now because I don't have a full comprised list. And it'd take a long time, and I want to get to a lot of other people's questions. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've seen the 80s one now. I think it's okay. I have seen the 4Kids one. I think it's actually really good, although I never grew up with it. Beetlejuice series, it's decent. It's got interesting ideas. While I was never the biggest fan of the Beetlejuice movie, I do think it is a pretty good representation of the show. or the movie, and I do think it is a moderately fun show. Not the best, but certainly could have been a lot worse considering what they had at the time. Let's see, Pirates of Dark Water, never heard of that. What's the name? You never heard of that? Samurai Jack. Ooh, that's a good one. I didn't grow up with Samurai Jack, but I did later on when it came back. And boy, is that new stuff dark. I do like the old stuff. It is a lot of fun, but the new stuff is just really gripping, and it fits in perfectly despite the fact that it's definitely a different age group. Everybody hates Chris. I didn't used to watch it like frequently, but I watched it here and there, and it still kind of is today. It's decently good. The Critic. Ooh, love that one. I'm glad somebody finally remembers The Critic from 1994 with John Lovitz. It stinks. It stinks. Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks. Simpsons reference, but oh man, that was a show that was just abused and neglected when it came out. It was never appreciated for what it really was, and it was never meant to be a mega hit, but it was a lot of fun. Hey, Siskel and Ebert were on it, so that means it's got to be good, right? And it was. Although those later episodes where he appeared just online were not nearly as good, but yeah, Green Lantern the animated series, it was pretty good. That's all I really got to say about it. Big Bang Theory is probably my least favorite live action show. I don't like it at all. I can't stand it. Although I do like some of the science behind the set because I went on the Warner Brothers studio tour a couple of years ago and they showed us how the set works. So if you notice, when somebody comes into the main apartment, they never go directly to the couch. They'll either go to the kitchen, there to the couch, or they'll walk around and go to the couch. That makes it, to the viewer's eyes, look bigger than it actually is because the room is really small in real life. And it gets even smaller when it's on TV. So if they can perform that kind of optical illusion of walking around a direct object rather than going straight to it, it gives it the sense and scope that it's bigger. Same thing with Young Sheldon. I don't know if anyone's going to say that, but I don't care for that either. Home Improvement. My dad and I used to watch that all the time as a kid. He used to love it. I used to love it, and we still do. Although it doesn't get aired too much, I definitely do like it. The Munsters, I just kind of think is a discount. Addams Family, Monster High, never seen it. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I like them better when they're on Space Ghost or Harvey Birdman, but it's still pretty good. It's not a show I like religiously follow. Of course, I don't follow any show religiously. That'd be strange to have a religion based off of a show. But it's kind of one of those Ren and Stimpy ones. I watched 1 and 2 episodes, then I'm kind of good for a while. King of the Hill. Now, I'm a Texan, so I definitely get a lot of the stuff that King of the Hill tries to do. And that's a show that's kind of on that same, like I see a few episodes and I'm good, but every so often I'll get into a mood where I just want to watch a lot of King of the Hill. Although that doesn't last too long, I usually watch a little bit, then I'm good for like a few weeks or months maybe, and then I go on again, and it's that kind of thing. Bob's Burgers, ooh, that's actually a really tough one to talk about. I have no grudge against the show itself. I think the show's perfectly fine. I give it like a 6.5 out of 10. Thing is, my ex-girlfriend used to adore that show, and she's the reason I started watching it because I wanted to take interest in her interest, something she never did for me. And so now, kind of whenever I go back to watch it, all I can think about is her and how much I want to get away from her, so I just kind of can't watch it. So I step away from Bob's Burgers. Nothing wrong with the show itself, it's just that it's kind of tainted for me. Tailspin. It was decent. I don't know what WKRP in Cincinnati is. Celebrity Family Food. Don't watch it. Dora the Explorer. I hated it as a kid, and I certainly don't like it now. A lot of my little cousins just over in Santan Valley up here, because I remember I'm going to school in Arizona, although I live in Texas, and they watch it a lot, and I don't like it. Megas XLR. It was a good show. Too bad it's written off with tax write-off, so it can never arrogant legally. But hey, oobad I like goes on. Blue's Clues. I haven't seen it in years, so I can't really say. I think I liked it as a kid. All I know is that the guy who played Steve got robbed by a stripper he was dating. Gem and the Holograms. And I like how he explicitly put not the movie because that's the only thing of it that I have seen. And even as someone who hasn't seen the show, I know that movie was terrible. But I have not seen Gem. Although that shouldn't be really too surprising. I mean, who watches Gem these days? Well, I'm sure some people do, but, not many. It's not too common. Toledo Surprise. Let's see, what else do we got? I'm waiting for some more to come in. any minute now. Or another thing you guys could do, I know some of you are requesting things I've already done. If you want me to elaborate on my opinion, I can do that. Like something, excuse me, something like League of Super Evil, for instance. Sir, I need water, man. All right, I'm better. But if you want me to like elaborate on something, or just let me know, all right? Let's see what I can do for you guys. Schoolhouse Rock, it does decent things for education, I suppose, although the memes are great. Sergeant Frog, never seen it. Johnny Test, first season was actually okay. But then the rest of it just kind of got bad. Tokyo Big, don't know what that is. Best Incarnation of Scooby-Doo. What's New Scooby-Doo or Mystery Incorporated? Although I never really watched Scooby-Doo even as a little kid, I do kind of have to think that What's New Scooby-Doo started like a lot of different things according to TV Trash. He pointed out a lot of, because, TV Trash, I'm a big fan, pointed out a lot of things where it kind of did some more twist as to who the villain was. And then Mystery Incorporated just actually had a bunch of, legitimate shows. Haven't seen Sticking Around, haven't seen Pork Rinds, I don't know what that is. Television shows, you're going to have to be more specific. Kim Possible, I haven't seen it since I was young, but I loved it when I was young. Same with American Dragon, Jake Long. I remember it being great, although it came out the day after David the Barbarian was taken off the air, so there is a little bit of hostility there, as, it kind of, and not kind of, I mean, it actually did replace it. And that's my favorite show ever, so that's kind of a problem. Cool Gun Fred's Patone Island. I agree with Rob Paulson. It's just a discount SpongeBob, but SpongeBob nowadays, where it doesn't know what to do. Rob Paulson accepts basically every role offered to him. He is one of the easiest to get voice actors ever, especially because of how cheap he works. However, it'll take a long list of complaints for him to go back and say that he regrets being a part of something. And this was one of them. This, Bugsy, and one or two others, he refuses to say anything good about. In fact, there was this hilarious interview, I wish I could find it again, where he's talking to one of his co-workers or something in an interview, and they worked on Coconut Fred together, and he's like, "Hey, you remember that? Wasn't that fun?" He's like, "No, it wasn't. I hated it." No, that was just kind of funny because he's trying to like set him up for this big reminiscent type thing, and it all just comes crashing down. I thought that was funny. Regular show and Adventure Time. Regular show is kind of funny with me because I watched it, but then I didn't, and then I tried to come back, and then I was so far behind because the plot had progressed so much that I just kind of gave up. I did see the finale though, and that was really sad. Adventure Time, kind of the same thing. Although I am going to see the finale coming up, I'm excited. But the thing back where I came from, also help maybe. I hope that's what you're referencing. I haven't seen Magnum PI. Haven't seen Powerpuff Girls either, surprisingly, because when I was a little boy, there was a stigma against, what I thought was just a little girl show. And then now as an adult, I just haven't had any time to go back and watch it. Horrid Henry, what is that? I've heard that name somewhere before. I couldn't tell you what it is, though, but that name, is that a British cartoon? Sounds like a British cartoon. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with Lee Storm there. The regular show in space thing did kind of alienate it. Television shows like Ragus Braca, I haven't heard of any of those except for Wayside, actually. I have heard of Brace Space, but never seen it. I'm actually going to do a TV Talks on Wayside soon, George Robertson. Don't worry, but I'm not going to spoil my opinion on it just yet. Yeah, let's see. Cat Scratch. Oh, there's actually a way to find Cat Scratch. I'm going to see if the website's still up. And I do mean like a legal way to find it. There used to be something like Cat Scratch Hut or something.com. It was something like that. It was somethinghut.com. If you search around, you might be able to find it. But Cat Scratch was great. It was the first show on Nickelodeon to ever be affected by, what is it? What's a good word for it? I guess like the SpongeBob syndrome. If you're not as good as SpongeBob, you're going away immediately. But there was a lot of stuff online for it. You can find it. Don't worry, it's still here. Now, there is one thing to know about Cat Scratch, though. It's based off of a really bloody and gory graphic novel. I don't know if any of you guys Know that? And it's also made by the guy who made VeggieTales in the House. You're welcome. Any most favorite Worson's Farm segment? The one where they have to read the Chicken Licken story or the Henny Penny one where it's just all the tampering with the ozone layer. I love that. Hi, hi, Puffy Yumi. I got into that show because of Ben the Looney, and I want to make a video about Ben the Looney soon. If any of you guys want to hear about it, like let me know and I'll make that video. In short, I was a big fan of his, and then he turned into a completely different person. Like he 180'd his personality, even his voice sounds different now. I know it's still him though. But I started watching it because that used to be his favorite show, and I was a big fan of his, and I thought it was okay. I personally don't see why he loved it so much. Dennis Smith, never seen it. Closet of Doom, don't know what that is. Um, all right, let's see. Any more? Oh, wow, there's a lot more down here. Do I think the newer SpongeBob episodes are any good? Like new? Because there are some new ones that I think are pretty good. Like the Solstice one, I thought that was pretty good. Maybe someday I'll talk about Embo and Chum Chum. Kind of the same thing as Breadwinners, although not as bad. Mighty B. That's a show a lot of people suggest that I watch. I haven't seen it in a long time. But yeah, maybe I'll check it out. Planet Sheena did one off that already. Maybe if you want me to elaborate it, just let me know. Madeline, haven't seen it in years. Wallace and Gromit, love it. It's fun. Too bad the guy who played Wallace is dead now. The Lulu Show, never seen it. Caillou, why did I like that as a kid? I don't know why. I guess I had weird taste when I was a kid, but it's so bad to watch now, and I'm not going to let my kids watch it no matter what. I refuse to let my kids grow up with Caillou. Clifford the Big Red Dog, that's the reverse thing. I loved it as a kid, and I will probably have my kids grow up on that. I already did TV talks on Invader Zim. Zaboomafoo. I haven't thought about Zaboomafoo in years. I used to have a little stuffed Zaboomafoo when I was a little boy. Well, I love that thing. Will there be a VeggieTales in the City season 3? Nope, it's done. It's over. Uh, what about the Crab Brothers? I love those guys. Like that Odd Ones Out joke, the Crab Brothers. To be honest, I thought that's what it was too. I haven't seen PBS's Zoom, but I do remember the Mr. Men show. That was actually another one I kind of want to talk about. But in short, I never grew up with the books. I actually didn't know about that the books existed until the show came out. But the show was decent for kids until the second season, where it just kind of tried to do too much. Animaniacs, I did one off of that. Rabbids Invasion, it's just the Minions show, basically, and I hate the Minions. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's basically how I feel about that one. Big Idea is not officially closed down, but it's not doing anything at the moment. So that's kind of what's going on with them. Martha Speaks. Don't know what that is. I don't know what you're trying to say, Ismail Jr. and Guerra. I don't know what you're trying to suggest to me. Are you trying to suggest that I talk about specific DVD box sets? Hi, Ian Sweeney. Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. Is that the old one or the new one? If it's the old one, that's hilarious. The animation, while like, kind of nothing, it is definitely a really fun show to watch, and especially how it avoids its limitation with the animation, because the animation is just garbage. But the writing is actually really well done. Jay Ward was very influential for a lot of shows like The Simpsons and, of course, Dave the Barbarian. And yes, he is the guy who made the original George of the Jungle. No, cancel. I still don't understand what you're trying to say, Ismail Jr. I don't understand. The Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald's. I've never seen that. Big Comfy Couch. I used to watch it when I was younger, but I don't really remember it. Yeah, that's what I heard too, Leaf Storm, that the company, like as in the merchandise, is still around, but the studios is done. And I tried to warn them way back at that old cringy Why VeggieTales in the House doesn't work video. I tried to warn them. I tried to tell them this was going to happen, but it did not. They didn't listen. They did not listen. Well, to be fair, they probably didn't watch the video, but still, they didn't listen. Hey, maybe now that the big idea thing is just a husk, maybe I can get a Kickstarter together and buy it, huh? What do you guys think? Depends. Which kind of MLP are you talking about? The new one? You're gonna have to, if you specify that, then I'll let you know. Although I did do a TV talk on the new one, but it's all right, I guess. Transformers Prime. Haven't seen it, but my roommate has, and he likes it. Yeah, Veggie Tales is over indeed. Well, hey, they're still live and reloaded and abridged. I'm all you have now. You can only come to me. Well, it's either me or Christian Nutrition, and why would you want to go to him, right? That's not a TV question. Anyway, I mean, when I was very, very little, I saw the Candyland movie. I remember nothing about it. Equestria Girls. Haven't seen it because I'm not a brony. Isn't the whole brony movement done? Like, I don't know. This is kind of an off-topic thing, but isn't the movement kind of, done? I mean, ever since Christian become really spoken out about it, but I don't know. It seems like a lot of people are leaving that. In fact, the show's even going to end next year, I think. Which, again, same thing. It's a fine thing that it ends early, I guess. I mean, I've only seen a couple episodes, but it's not my thing, as I've said before. Eek the Cat. I've heard of it. I know the guy who worked on. I don't remember who did that show. Snookums and Meat. The guy who did Snookums and Meat did that. So I don't know, but I have heard of it. Oh, Thomas. Kyle adores Thomas. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I used to just be obsessed with it. That and VeggieTales were my thing back then. Kyle still really watches it a lot. And actually, I was thinking of doing a TV talks with that. He just adores it, and apparently, it's going to this new social justice warrior phase. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "Yep, my childhood is on fire. This is terrible." And Kyle agrees with me, so maybe we'll talk about that someday. Yeah, that's what I thought. Brony is the whole movement thing is kind of done. Bronies are still around, but like there are very few of them. A couple of my friends were bronies, but then they left because they said the show was going downhill. I don't know. If there's anyone out there, please let me know. House versus SpongeBob. You kind of can't really compare them. They're two entirely different things. Should Lauren Foss take over Big Idea? No. I think it's best to just let it die and just kind of let it peter out. All right, still waiting for more. Chuck E. Cheese had a movie. What? Really? Well then, that's something weird, I suppose. Lazy Town, I did a review of that already, and it's so sad to hear that Robbie Rott and Stefan Carl is dead. And that was tragic. He died, I think, the day I got to college for my next year. Boy, that was just sad. He will always be number one. In the words of Sheen Estevez, why must the good die young? What's my opinion on Looney Tunes Back in Action? That's not a TV show. I don't know what Whimsy's house is. Yeah, that's fine. You can like the show and not consider yourself one of those, or not consider yourself a brony. That's fine. I just don't watch the show. It's not my thing. I got other shows I'd rather watch, like The Simpsons, which I should get watching season 8 because I got to get that video out soon. I have been marathoning Friends and Teen Titans a lot, though. Friends is probably my favorite non-live action, or my favorite live action show, non-animated. It used to be Modern Family, but Modern Family is just lately has been awful. It started to get good again. Remember, I made that video, was Modern Family good again? And it was, but then it wasn't again. Barney, haven't seen it in years. Homestar Runner, never seen it. Road Rovers, haven't seen it. Between the Lines, someone already asked that one. Depends on Livington's franchise, a little too broad to cover here. Let it die, let it die. I think we're talking about the movement. or VeggieTales, one of those. Yeah, whatever it is, I'm sure it should just be let die. That's not a sentence. That's not grammatically correct. And now when I run for office, people are going to bring that up, and I'm going to be ruined. What am I even talking about? But this has definitely been a fun stream. It's not over quite yet, but it is definitely good to help get my mind off of what's been happening with the family. I'm not going to say what, but please do pray about it. It is wow. Sonic Boom, hate it. Hated it, I should say. I hated it at first, but the new seasons have been really funny. Like the one where it just spends 11 minutes making fun of Chris Chan. I laughed so hard at that. So the first season I don't think was very good, but the later stuff I think is great. Teen Titans vs. Teen Titans Go. Like you even have to ask, it's always the original. VeggieTown. You mean like the BBS program? It was fun. Dexter's Laboratory. First two seasons good. Second two seasons not so much. Parker's Weird Mysteries. I'm not seeing it. Kick Butowski. That's actually one that Danny Cooksey was in, the voice of Dave the Barbarian. He's an actor that I think should be in a lot more roles because he's really good, but he's only gotten a couple, and that's really sad. Now he's in a cover band. That show was all right, I suppose. It was nothing great, but it was serviceable animation. It was serviceable and kind of fun. Nothing the best. Now, what else you guys got? 7D. I never watched it, but it always did kind of seem like something that was just trying to cash in on Gravity Falls' success, so I never kind of gave it a chance. Pink Panther, the series, it was decent, I suppose. Bonkers, actually a lot of fun. A lot of people kind of brush Bonkers off as being a Roger Rabbit wannabe, but if you look at the show itself, it's actually fun. I don't know what Hamtaro is. I also don't know what Ubi is. Sonic Underground, probably the worst Sonic show. The Wiggles, I don't remember. Wander Over Yonder. What am I trying to say? Oh yeah, Wander Over Yonder. I watched it a lot. Then it was kind of a regular show thing. I watched it a lot. Then it kind of went away. But then when I came back, it all made sense because I was able to catch up on it because it was aired a lot for a while. The Death Note anime, never seen it, but I did read the manga and I thought it was pretty good. New 70 had a lot of anime extras behind it actually. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. Maybe I'll check that out. I'll add that to the growing list of shows that I need to see. I'm not kidding. I have a full list of shows I should start watching. No, Steven Universe is not on that list because I don't like Steven Universe. I've tried. I've tried. I just don't like it. I don't. It's not bad. It's just kind of one of those shows where I have no opinion on it, and nobody asked that. I just kind of thought I'd bring it up. I don't know what James McKenna is, or Dog City, or Religtables. Good one. Yeah, we all know I love that one. Speed Racer. Old show, new show alike. Haven't seen it, but the movie was something. I already did the Super Show. All right, so probably about 5 more minutes, then I gotta get going. Well, Religtables was just a satire, but that's what I call it in the house because it's not even close to the actual show. Awful. Teddy Brooksman, I haven't seen the show. Dorbies, I think you know what my opinion is on that if you've seen the Podgrape and Mr. Lunt watch Dorbies. Okay, Kale, Let's Be Heroes. Never seen it. Upside Down Show. Don't know what that is. Oh, I haven't heard of the O Show. I'm just messing with you. That's not a show. Although it would be kind of a fun show if there was just a show called O, as in OH. You know, Monty Python's Flying Circus was originally going to be called It's. Because if you ever see the intro, there's the guy who goes, It's, and then it cuts to the Monty Python's Flying Circus. There's a reason why, because that was actually just supposed to be the intro alone. It was just going to be called It's, but the network wouldn't go for it because they thought it was too hard to market, which normally I'm not okay with network brass meddling in creative affairs, but yeah, that's kind of a good point. Professor Iris, I don't know what that is. We Bare Bears. I've seen a lot of people who really like it. I haven't seen it. Sin City era. That was a good. It was a good era. Very good era for Cartoon Network. Hollywood Squares. Never seen it. Monk. Haven't seen it. All right, so let's start wrapping it up about now. If you got any more shows, spew them out. Other than that, I got to go. Howdy Doody show. All I know about that is it was an old thing that was on in Back to the Future and in Little Shop of Horrors. That's all I know. Murder She Wrote. Sounds familiar. Cow and Chicken. It's like lesser Ren and Stimpy. I mean, I'm already kind of like growing lukewarm to the original Ren and Stimpy, and that's just kind of Ren and Stimpy by people who don't get it. Powerhouse era, also good era. All right, last call. South Park. It used to be so good. Like seasons 4 through 17, it used to be so good. I don't know what happened. When they started doing these story arcs, it just fell apart. The recent one in the season that tried to satirize Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton, that was just awful. I mean, that kind of makes sense. They had to rewrite the whole thing from the very end because they didn't expect Donald Trump to actually win. Buzz Lightyear Star Command TV show. It was good, but I don't remember it too well. I do remember it being good. Back to the Future animated series, that actually is a pretty good one. I wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for TV Trash, though, because he did a very, very high recommendation of it. All in the Family. Never actually seen it. Donkey Kong Country. I love the theme song, and then I don't like anything else. Okay, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. It was great to see all of you guys here. Unfortunately, I have to leave because I have other things I need to do today. I got more work to do. But hey, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you next time.
Good night, everybody.